Bianca Flores. I am the founder of Corazón, Sazón, a new social dating app focused on the Latin community. I have my PhD in neuroscience, so I'm always interested about everything tech, science, and how communities connect. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of the background story behind it, how I came to this idea, and how to build an app without code, because I have no technical background. Okay, there you go. So the idea kind of came about as an exasperated conversation between two friends. This is me and my friend Gabby. We did our PhD together at Vanderbilt, and we were kind of hitting that brick wall with dating apps. If you've ever had the privilege of trying them, sort of, unable to really find any romantic matches that we felt like were a match culturally in similar cultural backgrounds and values, but as well similar professional goals. So then I thought, hey, why don't I create a new dating app focused on the young Latinx demographic? How hard could that be, right? But as soon as I started to kind of think about the problem, and also, why isn't it moving? There you go. So, as I started doing market research, it kind of grew into something bigger. I learned, it's obvious that we here exist as a demographic, but it's not so obvious for how we connect. So there's no clear platform to integrate everything into and to make it easier to find one another, but also these Latin-owned businesses and these Latin-owned events. So the new solution was to create an overall encompassing social app that integrated those aspects into the dating app as well. So Corazón Sazón wants to offer 3 key services. So the first is primarily focusing on dating. And of course, there's a lot more that I can go into on this. I can.
Sorry, it's just the audio is not.
Oh, the audio is not.
I'm so sorry.
No. Yeah. Okay, are we good? Cool. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So I want to offer 3 key services. First is focused on dating, so primarily focused on those longer-term, serious relationships and connections, and as well group networking, which is going to be a little bit different. So I'm trying to rebrand and redefine what a professional is. So I'm considering a professional anybody who considers himself a lifelong learner. And number 3, wanted to focus on finding Latinx culture and businesses in our local communities. So how is dating and networking connected to community? Well, I believe by providing a physical space for people to connect with one another, these platforms can actually help build a tighter-knit community and support local businesses. But as well, since this platform is tailored to young Latinx professionals, it can be more than just a tool for personal and professional connections. Essentially, I'm hoping that these have the growth to serve as catalysts for community growth overall. This is just a shameless social plug. We are on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow us at Corazón Sazón _OKC. So this is part of the process in trying to, provide proof of concept, provide information about traction. But then it's how do I sort of create a path forward? So there's many different apps that you can use and platforms that you can use to have low-code or no-code app builders. I'm just focusing on Bubble because it had one of the lowest barriers to entry, and as well, it has a lot of free features. So this is really great for anybody who has little to no startup funds, and as well has little to no technical expertise in building apps. And this is very much, like I said, proof of concept to potentially show accelerators or show potential funders what something like this could look like in app form. So it's interesting because on a platform like Bubble, it's very much a design first step. So the basics is, you choose your colors, and as you can see, the colors are very much similar to the presentation background because these are our theme colors. And, it kind of walks you through, the destructive colors are red if something goes bad, or a green for like a check mark yes. So you can choose all of those colors, which is great. And there's a drag and drop function. So obviously here it's blank, but it's nice because there's a little library on the side where you can see all of your moving parts and drag them into sort of the main center. And then after sort of that design piece, you have an actual workflow. So similar to if somebody was actually building out code, you get an error message. This is more of like a visual representation of that. So when you have, for example, here, when you're having and designing the intro to the app or to whatever app you want to design, you have a user sign up, you have a login, you have a, authentication, but if you don't do it in the right order, it's not going to work. So it's nice because it actually tells you, hey, you've got many issues to fix here. And in this case, I just have this as an example, and you can go back and go through and make sure that you're following the steps as you go. And so another cool option that Bubble has is you can have APIs and GPTs, which again is just another way to make the user experience a little bit more, help it flow a little bit easier. So for example, if I wanted to do a login for the app, but maybe allow people to log in with their Facebook or Gmail, that could be an API that I connect to the Bubble app. And then of course, ChatGPT, it's everywhere, but it's a great, function or tool to have within an app. If somebody say they wanted to search within the app and find different restaurants or venues or places to meet another person, they'd be able to use that using ChatGPT function within the app. Additional options is Bubble has a use of templates. So if I wanted to kind of cut down the time a little bit further, I could just use a basic template that's focused on social media, or in this case, dating, since I'm kind of focused on dating and networking here. And again, that kind of cuts down everything because then all the parts are put together, and of course, then I can go through with the design and maybe add those key little pieces that are more specific to the app. So, right now I just have a basic login and it's great because you can actually try to run this. So the benefit of having a low code or no code process is that you can quickly try to run it and see how it looks. I'm not quite there yet because that is a subscription and you have to pay for it. So not there yet, but we will get there. So of course, there's pros and cons with everything. The pro is that there's a relatively short learning curve, and I have this hyper asterisk because it's short compared to something like a Python or an R where you're kind of a lifelong learner. And of course, it's great because you have templates that you can learn from. It's a lot cheaper to build, and there's a faster deployment or a shorter time scale. Of course, the cons, there's limited functionality and efficiency. If you're looking at an app the way that I am with all these three encompassing features, there's going to be issues with scalability and of course long-term viability. So again, this is a great idea to quickly kind of start with and then kind of go from there to see what you'll need to fix to create a longer-term vision, but that's a con. And of course, with scalability comes security concerns. So this isn't something that I would want to kind of build my whole app on, but it is something I would want to use as sort of a first step for, again, proof of concept. And so it's good for the short term. It's great if you want to quickly come up with an idea, again, to show if you're going to go into an accelerator or show potential funders, this is what it would look like. So that way you can actually raise the capital to hire the people that have spent many, many years learning this. So that's a bit of what I have. So if anybody has any questions, I'm here. Thanks.